Hi there, and welcome back to the MVP Podcast. I am Sosa, and today I'm here with Weezy, and we're talking. Well, specifically, we're talking about Liverpool and how so far they've not had the greatest of times. Just off the bat, just so we know where everyone stands, Weezy, give
Yeah.
me your quick take on Liverpool right now, just so we get an unbiased review of what we're dealing with in regards to you and Liverpool.
What do you mean unbiased? Like
I I,
I'm
I
never
just
biased.
again, I just want to make sure that for the record, we know your stance with Liverpool and Liverpool fans, just for the record.
Oh, I hate the fans, no doubt about that. I can't stand their fans. Their fans are disgusting. They're like nauseating. They're Stephen A. Smith kind of words, isn't it? They just. You know what I mean? They just want to make you smash things. But the team, I don't mind. I have them. I think they're my favorites to win the league. That's my stand on them. But their fans can do one.
Now, with with Leeds, sorry, with Leeds, with Liverpool, they're a
Yeah,
team that they've been on fire for the past couple of seasons, and
right.
they've been having some turmoil. You saw that clip, and I think we'll play a part of it where that fan comes onto Talk Sport. Um,
I think we have to consider, is Jürgen Klopp that great? Is he as good as Bob Paisley or Bill Shankly? No. Will he ever win as many trophies as them? No. He won't stay that long. He's moaning now about fixture pile-ups. Why did he not replace? Why didn't he not get somebody in the summer? Knowing that if Virgil van Dijk gets injured, who have they got for cover? There's no cover for Virgil van Dijk. And the 7-2 against Aston Villa, I did not think would be a one-off. It's not a one-off. This is happening again. Liverpool have only got a +5 goal difference. Spurs in the league have a plus, I think, 10 or 12 goal difference. Well, how are Liverpool going to get that goal difference up in the league if they're conceding goals? And they've lost at home again. They lost at home to Atletico Madrid. I don't know what Jurgen Klopp is doing. Has he taken Liverpool as far as he can? Possibly. Will he win any more trophies with Liverpool? I'm not sure. But the way they play tonight, they won't.
Do you want Jurgen Klopp out? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't think he'll win any more trophies with us. I think he's going backwards.
it
Oh,
felt like it came out of left field. Like I don't like. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong. I understand people's concerns with that. There might be a bad run of games. Teams' form can drop off. But
yeah.
this fan, it felt like he was going OTT with
It's like
his
that.
response
You know
to.
that it's
Oh,
like that spoiled kid in the shop. You know, like where you get them everything you want, and then they see the other toy they want, and they're like, "Yeah, I want that one." And you're like, "Well, I've got you everything else. What do you want that one for?" And then they just like roll around on the floor. Listen, there's 19 teams that want that problem. I would love that problem in Man United. The guy said, "Oh, what did he say? That 7-2 Aston Villa was a major issue.
he says it wasn't a one-off.
It wasn't a one-off. Liverpool's defense is shaky. Yeah, obviously, with the injuries that they've had, it is going to be shaky. But what are they? I think they're top of the table. No, I know Spurs haven't
No,
played
no, no.
yet, but they're top of the table.
Spurs are top of the table. I think it's like
They were on a
them,
point behind. Oh yeah, the goal difference. Yeah,
Southampton,
yeah,
and then it's Liverpool. But like he did pick up some valid points. Like they had a transfer window just gone. They knew that if an injury to Van Dijk, who was like integral to their team's defense, obviously they've got their fullbacks who are always attacking, but as far as that rock in their defense
yeah.
being Van Dijk, everyone that's partnered with him has automatically their game's been elevated with him. But when he's not there, we kind of see like the reality of their backups. And they didn't replace, like, just in case. Well, I'd say replace because they didn't know that this was going to happen, but they didn't take out like a contingency. They didn't take out that like insurance just in case he does go down, or someone that can carry a bit more responsibility. Do you reckon it's full on the club for not doing that, or was this something that was
Mm,
freak and they could never anticipate it?
with Liverpool, they're in the same boat as quite a few clubs, in it. Like, I mean, obviously, you've only got Man City and Chelsea that kind of are owned by rich guys that are not affected by this Corona COVID-19 stuff. So you can't really like if you're Liverpool and you're looking at the standards, what centre out there that you can really buy and say if Van Dijk gets injured, he's a like for like replacement, or he might not do Van Dijk's job where it's 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, but he'll give us a 7 out of 10. Do you know what I mean? You're struggling, so
Listen,
I think I'd,
off the bat, I'm already thinking about a guy like Koulibaly, who probably would have cost them an arm and a leg to get. But
80
then you got,
million for a 31. Is he 31?
then I think he's no, I think he's 29, turning 30. He might have turned
Yeah,
30.
29. Yeah,
But
it might be 30,
but
but
put him to a side.
80
If you want
million.
someone up and coming, what about the Red Bull guy,
Leipzig,
Upamecano?
Upamecano.
He would have
Yeah,
been
Upamecano.
like
Yeah.
they
Right.
didn't look into like they spent their money on players like Jota and Thiago Silva. Thiago Alcantara.
Thiago Alcantara.
So
But listen,
did they miss, or did they make a mistake in focusing in those areas? Even though that
no, I don't think they did.
did good business.
I don't look at it like that. I mean, they brought a left back in to replace Robertson. They've got like that Nico kid that would have been there for a Trent. I think Klopp in a way was looking at it and saying, I've got like centre backs. I've got Matip. What's he got? Matip, Joe Gomez. Obviously Virgil. And I don't even know what their fourth one is. You got Fabinho that can drop in there if, like, you know what I mean, if it hits the fan in it. So I don't think they like. Do you know what I mean? They should have had a contingency or this and that, because end of the day, Joe Gomez in their eyes is a good player. They look at him as Van Dijk's long term partner kind of thing. So I don't think they've overthought it. I don't think they've done. I think they did all right. I think that was a bit extra personally for me. I think Liverpool they're like obviously defensively now they're all over the place, but with them kind of injuries, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean it didn't help that they missed out Allison for a few games, which is the reason for, I think Allison was probably the biggest miss for them during that time.
But they've got one loss, haven't they? They've got one loss and 2 draws or something like that.
Yeah, it's not like it's like an end of the world scenarios, but it surely is a
it's not curtains.
It's surely
no, it's not curtains. I mean, did they not play? They drew with Man City. So who have they got? In terms of Liverpool will be all right, man. I think they're still your favourites to win the league title. But you know, like I know we're talking on their injury fronts. I don't feel sorry for them on injuries, because you know why? For 2 years in a row, their most biggest injury was Alisson for 6 weeks. Like Van Dijk, Mane, Salah, Firmino. Not Firmino, sorry, Fabinho. I don't know why I said that. Holding the shoulder. Fabinho, these guys, you know what I mean? They never got injured. So, like, you know what I mean?
They're
2 years.
Pretty blessed.
Yeah, they've been pretty lucky. So now that you've been hit with this injury bug, and you've got this, guess what? Other clubs were going through it, and you didn't have no sympathy for them now. So for me, they get nothing. It's football. Like they used to say, oh, whenever you talk to a local fan, oh yeah, but then so and so was out for so long. Blah blah was out for so long. Yeah, it's football. Deal with it. Don't give me that. Oh, Van Dijk's out for the season. Joe Gomez is gone. This and that. Deal with it. It happens. And plus it's gonna keep happening because of the scheduling. So do you know what I mean? It's just suck it up. They're doing well. They're still favourites for the league. We'll see Chelsea and Tottenham tomorrow. Whoever wins that, I think, is putting a marker down. But right now, anybody that picks, they're your favourites for the league.
Yeah, I'm not putting no marker down for that Chelsea Tottenham game. But here's the thing: we've talked about, because they've got a big injury in Van Dijk being out, and he's obviously their main guy. You could say the same thing for what happened with Man City when they had Kevin De Bruyne out for so long at the beginning of the season. So there's different levels to it. I think another thing I wanted to talk about today was there was another clip. I don't know if we're going to be able to show this, but this was the interview after their 1-1 draw with Brighton, and the question was posed to Klopp by Des in the interview for BT, to whether there was an impact with scheduling, and Klopp, I don't know, he must have, like, something must have struck.
I think they've got history. Now them two have got history, because he kept saying to him, like, "What was it? Well done, correct." You know what I mean? Like proper sarcastic.
When they mentioned about Milner being injured, the first thing he says was, "Yeah, you're correct. You know this. You're already."
Yeah.
It's a bit interesting that Klopp decided, of all the, obviously I understand why he's done it now, but it's interesting why he took it to that extent. Like, he didn't just brush it off like like any other question because he's a professional. He knows what he's doing, but it's interesting that he actually made a point of it. Like, what do you make of him actually turning it into like a more of a conversation?
I think he's dead. I think he's spot on. Personally, I mean, you only got to like. I think the biggest point where managers kind of like all jumped on it was when Man United, just before this international break, Man United went away to that Turkish team.
Yeah.
Istanbul, however you say their name.
And
then they came back and then they made them like they basically obviously Turkey is like a 4 or 5 hour flight. So they came in Thursday morning and then they made them travel up to Goodison on Friday to play, was it Saturday at 12:30? And then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer literally kicked off about it. And then Jürgen Klopp like jumped on the back of that saying, if you play a Champions League game on a Wednesday, basically his argument was if you play Champions League game on Wednesday, you should have the Sunday kickoff. The guys that played the Europa League on the Thursday should have the Monday kickoff because that Monday you had like Leeds and West Brom playing, and he was like, "Well, why Leeds and West Brom got the Monday kickoff, and then you had a couple of teams that didn't have no European football on the Sunday kickoff." So Jurgen Klopp was like, "Why have Man United got to come all the way back from Turkey, play that game, and then teams that are not in Europe are playing Sunday when their last game was last week Saturday or Sunday?" So he goes, logically, they're all spot on. And it's proven in the injuries. Like now, Man United have got Pogba, these guys gone. James Milner went down today with a hamstring injury. They've already lost Trent. Van Dijk. Van Dijk was a calamitous tackle by that calamitous goalkeeper, Pickford. You can't help it. And like you got Gomez in it. Do you know what I mean? The Fabinho went out with a hamstring. Thiago was a reckless tackle by Richarlison. But do you know what I mean? There's 4 or 5 guys that they've lost to like muscular injuries that maybe in a normal season, because obviously, bear in mind, so we've got Corona. There's been no preseason. There's been no like these guys are not getting no breaks, no nothing like this. So it's literally back to back football. And these guys, what did they have? Like a 3-4 week break?
If that, I think
I think it might have been even less than it.
Because they play Champions League throughout August, and the Premier League started in like October. So they've had like 5 weeks, if that.
5 weeks, if that.
One thing I wanted to mention was because he was asked about obviously with Milner being injured and Salah being subbed off. Yeah, he was mentioning about potentially having more because it was discussed. We had it during July and August where there was multiple. I say July. Back in June when we had multiple substitutions up to 5, and he said that he goes, if I had 5 subs, I would have subbed off Robertson, and it wouldn't have been a case of because the whole point of it being denied was, bigger teams have a tactical advantage when they can bring on 5 subs at once. He mentioned, look, what's the point of me bringing on 5 subs at once when I've got players that need a rest? He wanted to save Robertson. He even said in his own words, I wanted to save Robertson, but I couldn't. I have 3 subs. I had to pick and choose who to save. And he had a pop at Chris Wilder because he was one of the guys that voted against it, and now he's voted against it. He had to give a jab saying he's got was it 1 point?
I think he had a pop at he had a pop at Wilder and he had a pop at Mourinho, didn't he? Because Mourinho was saying like stop crying about it now, stop going on about it.
Yeah, well that's the thing with Mourinho. I remember reading an interview with Mourinho. Mourinho was just saying that he's used to it. Like no matter how much he's argued about it, like he's been around the Premier League for years.
So he's like basically
Christmas fixtures. It's never going to change. Like
his wasn't a shot at Jurgen Klopp. He was basically saying to Jurgen Klopp, "You're wasting your breath. These guys are not going to listen to you."
Yeah.
Because he like even Guardiola came in and Guardiola goes, "I used to look at it and think to myself, why are Ferguson and Wenger moaning about fixture pileups in England, this and that?" And then he goes, as soon as I became Man City manager, I was like, wow, how do you not get injuries? How do players like survive the whole season? And he goes, I used to think Fergie and Wenger just used to move for no reason. And he goes, I came here and I realized this is like, you can't work with this. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of the 5 subs, I don't see the harm in it. End of the day, any team that makes like, I'll give you a prime example, Sosa. Did you watch Man United against that Turkish team again on Wednesday? Was it Wednesday or Tuesday? They played Tuesday at Old Trafford.
I try to avoid Man United games. I don't watch Man United games.
No, but if you watch that game, you'll understand where I'm coming from with the 5 subs. Man United made all 5 subs. They made 1 sub Wan-Bissaka or someone got injured. They made 3 subs in one go, and they made 1 sub like tactical So basically, they tried giving guys a rest. Basically, Man United, the other team weren't really in the game. Man United were ripping them to shreds. As soon as they made the 5 subs in one go, like literally, no, 3 in one go and then 2 in the space of 5-10 minutes between that, Man United went to like, basically, they were gone. And the other team literally should have actually could have made it 3-3. So
I guess
the idea
it
that,
disrupts balance, isn't it?
yeah, this was balance, they play everything like that because let's be honest, if these guys on the bench were as good as the starters, you know what I mean? Some of them would be starting. It's not like you're really bringing in, like, who are Liverpool really going to bring on? They're going to bring on that Greek centre back or left back.
Yeah,
Who's
that was the
other
plan apparently. Like that was the plan.
Yeah, but who's Liverpool really got that's going to, let's say, who's going to replace Mane?
But here's the thing. We talk about, again, when we look at a squad like Liverpool are, when I say top heavy, I mean that their starting 11 is amazing. It's unbelievable. And their bench, although it's good, it's not like crazy good. It's not like an impressive selection of players to choose from. I mean, same could be said with Man United, but when you look at other teams, specifically, I'm talking about Man City, even Chelsea. Chelsea have got like players on the bench that could probably walk into a couple of teams in the Premier League. So they're the teams that would probably get the most advantage, especially teams that have invested a lot, teams that have got money to buy players just to sit on the bench. So I can understand why other managers wouldn't be too keen on the idea of having 5 substitutions.
I get the freshness side of it, but in all honesty, a sub is going to come on in the last 15, 20 minutes. You're probably going to, like, it might work in their favor. You never know, because obviously they could be bringing on fresh legs. So what they've got to understand is they've got, like, it could work the other way. You've got a smaller squad. So that smaller squad, all of a sudden, in like come Christmas time, in next month, you're going to be playing 24, 48 hours in between. Then your squad's going to be stretched. Then you're going to be like to yourself, maybe I shouldn't have voted against that 5 subs. Because then when guys start getting tired, because bear in mind, there's going to be a lot of fatigue. There's going to be a lot of injuries. There's going to be a lot of, like, you know what I mean? I think basically come December, January, I'm with Kevin De Bruyne. A lot of players are going to miss the Euros because of the scheduling and everything behind it. So the 5 subs, I don't see. I'm not going to say to you it's a major benefit for the big teams. I think it benefits them a little bit more, but it's not. It don't make a major difference because we did see it at the beginning of the season, and what difference did it really make? Like, who bought on 5 subs? I mean, I think it was your team that got the most out of their subs that came on, innit?
Yeah, I mean, we've probably got one of the biggest squads to go in the Premier League.
Yeah, but at that point, you didn't really have a big squad, did you? Last season,
we had some, but it was mainly for rotation. We had a lot of rotation pieces. No one outstanding. Yeah,
exactly. So, we used it for 19 games last season, and it didn't really benefit Did it really benefit the bigger teams? I don't think it did. So I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, I think they've got a point where I think they should bring it back in all honesty, because when you've got teams that play midweek in Europe and then you're asking them to play that Saturday, like Jürgen Klopp said today, Jürgen Klopp, if you probably gave him the 5 subs, would have probably started half of his starters off the bench and then brought them on if he needed to bring them on.
So, could you imagine that? Imagine bringing on Mohamed Salah and Mane in like 55th minute. That's like, I'd give up if I was a manager on the opposition team. But we're going to wrap it up there. Guys, if you like the video, please go ahead and like the video. Subscribe if you're new. Share with your friends. We do appreciate all the love and support you've been giving us. So, yeah, I guess we're going to leave it at that. Weezy, you got any last words?
Worries, man. No, that's it, man. Take care. Stay safe. And give us a like and share with your friends.
All right. Take care. Peace.
Take care.